Trapped in a life of labor and scorned by my wife's family, I endured day after day. My sweat and tears were dismissed, my presence a mere shadow. "Pack up and leave," she coldly ordered, her belly swelling with another man's child, a stark emblem of betrayal and shattered vows. Is this the reward for all my years of silent sacrifice? For every drop of sweat I've shed in vain? I asked, my voice a mixture of disbelief and sorrow echoing in the hollows of our once-shared dreams. Amidst the turmoil, I was cast aside, a discarded pawn in their cruel game. This is my saga of resilience and search for redemption. I, Jack Thompson, was a man with a bad name in Maplewood. I lived with my wife's folks, the Harpers, and they made me work hard like I owed them. For 3 long years I had no pride and took all the mean words without a peep. For 3 years I gave my all at the Harpers' business every day, but my pay went straight to my wife, Emily, who didn't even want me close. At night, I'd come home to wash up, clean, cook, and do more. Yet I kept at it, hoping my work would make her see I was worth staying with till we were old. But what I got hit me hard: a baby. My wife, who I hadn't been with, was going to have a baby, and I was to be a dad. But was that even good news? "Can't you wash clothes right or clean the floor well, Jack? You're no good? Why keep you when even a dog could do better?" Those mean words were from Emily's mother, Sarah Harper. She pointed at me and yelled. My eyes were red with rage. "Sarah," I said through clenched teeth, "don't call me by my first name. You don't get to do that." Sarah showed how much she looked down on me. I stayed quiet and did not talk back. 3 years back, I had helped the head of the Harpers when he got very sick. Mr. Harper had to be rushed to the hospital about 5 miles on my back. The old man got help in time and lived, all thanks to me. Feeling he owed me, Mr. Harper had his granddaughter Emily marry me. The rest of the family didn't want me there, but the old man didn't listen to what they said. So for 3 years, I lived with the Harpers. 3 whole years. Anyone should have started to like someone after all that time, but the mean mom and daughter made it too hard. Emily and her family really didn't like me just because I had no parents, money, or family name. No matter how hard I tried, Emily and the others kept picking on me, hitting me, and yelling at me. The old Mr. Harper was the only one nice to me. When Mr. Harper was there, Sarah tried to be a bit nicer, but only a little. Since Mr. Harper died from being sick a week ago, Sarah and everyone else were even meaner, trying to make me leave. I felt like I didn't belong and was treated very badly. The door to the room opened, and Emily came in, smelling like drinks. She wore nice clothes and black silk stockings, looking so pretty that most men couldn't resist her. When I saw her come back, my heart hurt. I couldn't believe she went out to drink even while pregnant. I wanted to help her, but Emily pushed me away fast. "Get away, get your things and leave. We're going to the office to get a divorce tomorrow." "What? Why?" Just then, Sarah came in and started yelling at me when she saw me standing there, shocked. "What are you doing, Jack? Go get water and wash Emily's feet." Sarah went to Emily, looking very sweet. She held her hand gently and asked with worry, "Why are you drinking so much?" "It's bad for the baby." After trying so hard to have a baby boy with Brad, she had to make sure nothing went wrong. She dreamed of having a grandson. Even though it was still months away, a son was the key for her daughter to marry Brad. She only kept me because she didn't know if the baby was a boy or a girl. After all, someone had to take care of her daughter, and paying for help would be too much. "Don't bother with my feet. You've been no help for 3 years, Jack. Let's call it quits tomorrow." Emily looked at me coldly. I felt like my heart was breaking. I knew I wasn't good enough for Emily, but I tried so hard for 3 years to make her happy. Now she wanted a divorce. "You're right," Sarah said. "Now that we're having Brad's baby, we can't let people know he's still here. It would look bad. I'm tired. Take me to my room." "I can't stand looking at him," Emily said as she touched her belly, worried about other women around Brad once she showed more. As Sarah led Emily away, she turned to me. "Why are you still here? Will you stay to take care of a child that's not yours?" In that moment, I felt lost and hurt. I felt like a dog kicked out of its home. Everything I had from the marriage, including my ID, was thrown away. The biggest thing I felt was deep sadness. Now I had nowhere to go. For 3 years, all the money I made was given to my wife's mom, and I didn't keep any for myself. I felt like a stray dog. I roamed the streets and finally stopped at a graveyard, feeling the chill of the night. I stood in front of a gravestone looking sad and lost, but no tears came. I didn't know if I was mad, sad, or let down. In silence, I stared at the grave of Mr. Harper, the only one who looked out for me and cared for me in those years. After I was thrown out of my home, I felt I had to say goodbye to the old man one more time. Though I wanted to bring flowers, I had no money for even the simplest ones. Thanks for being there for me these 3 years, sir. Tomorrow I will end things with Emily. I couldn't make you proud. My eyes turned red. I kneeled in the dark night and bowed many times before Mr. Harper's grave, struggling to express my deep hurt and sorrow. After saying my goodbyes, I picked up a necklace, held it tightly, and sat quietly on the ground, leaning against the gravestone. Unknown to me, the necklace started glowing softly as if it felt my anger and shame. When I left the graveyard after honoring Mr. Harper, I saw a woman dressed for work at the entrance. She had a great figure, and I wondered why such a woman was here late at night instead of being in bed. She wore a lot of makeup, making me look again. She seemed mad and quietly said, "You broke loser." Usually I would let such words go, knowing better than to react. But the shock of my wife having a baby with another man and being kicked out of my own house made me very upset. I needed to let out my feelings. In a quick moment of anger, I ran up to the woman and said, "Isn't it a bit too soon for you to be out here like this? How much for one night? I'm feeling good today." Truth is, I didn't have a penny on me. I shook a bit as I spoke, scared that she might be a sex worker, in which case I had no money to give her. Luckily, the woman turned white and looked at me when I spoke. She looked like a nice, classy lady. I felt a bit of relief inside. After a tough day with the Harpers and being at my lowest, when I saw the woman looking at me, I said more, "What are you looking at? Didn't you hear me? I asked how much for a night. What do you think? You should still be treated well, even though you're out here like this. You should know I used to train in fighting, so you should be thankful for a good time instead." This just made the woman angrier, and she shouted, "What's your name? Where do you work? Why does that matter? Were you thinking of coming over? I wasn't going to give out my info to just anyone. How dare you?" The woman's face turned red with anger, but she had to leave, making me feel bitter. As I walked away, I saw 2 shady young guys sneaking into the cemetery. They both had a bag and a rope. They didn't see me because it was dark and there were trees and tombstones in the way. Anyone could tell those 2 were up to no good. I frowned, thinking they were after the woman, so I decided to follow them quietly. The pretty lady waiting in the graveyard was jumped from behind by 2 guys and forced into a sack. They put stinky socks in her mouth so she couldn't fight back. One strong guy kept the lady down while the other tied a big rock to the sack. Then they tossed it into the river with a big splash. My eyes popped. It was a killing. I wanted to run but was scared to make noise, so I hid behind a grave and waited until the guys left before looking out. After thinking it over, I jumped into the water. I was usually scared, but I had to do something. I couldn't just watch a lady being killed. I quickly saved the lady from the water. Wet and out of breath, I opened the sack, but I didn't see a knife. One of the guy's eyes dropped. The 2 guys got to the road and saw their fancy SUV. Before getting in, Marco checked his boots. His face changed. "Shoot, I lost my knife. It's by the river. We got to find it fast. It might have our prints." They rushed back to the river. When I opened the sack, the lady was soaking wet. Her white top and short skirt stuck to her, showing off her shape. You could kind of see her black lace bra under her top. I was stunned. I thought Emily was pretty, but this lady was even more so. The woman had been in the water too long, her face white, breathing hard. I had no choice but to lean over and give her breaths, mouth to mouth. To my shock, her body felt soft and her lips were sweet. My mind drifted off. Soon, I got her breathing again. Blah! She spat out water, her eyes flickering back to life. She felt warmth on her lips. Looking up, she saw my hand on her leg and kicked me into the water, mad. "You creep! How dare you touch me like that?" she yelled. Shocked, I fell into the water. I struggled before I got back up, looking sad. After all I went through, I stared at her, upset. "You're all the same. I save you and you kick me. Didn't anyone teach you manners?" "I should teach you a lesson," I said, mad. The woman got scared, her voice shaky. "Stop joking. If something bad happened to her here, who would know?" I grabbed her broken phone and car keys. I smashed the phone and threw the keys into the water. "Now what will you do?" I was furious. "Ungrateful, huh? We're in the middle of nowhere and I just broke your phone." I walked away with big steps. The woman was very scared, shaking all over as she yelled, "No, don't leave me!" The cemetery was far from anywhere. I knew there were no ghosts, but wasn't sure about wolves. The woman, wet from the river and hurt, couldn't walk well. Being so far out, help was not likely. Staying the night with her car keys in the river and phone broken felt worse than dying. I left to teach her a lesson for not saying thank you. "Yumini, don't leave me." The woman tried to follow, but couldn't catch up as I left quickly. She yelled bad words, feeling very sad. She never thought she, a fancy lady, would be left like this by a normal guy. "Creep, when I find out who you are, you'll be sorry," said Lisa Green. When I was gone, Lisa wanted to cry but couldn't. Her shoe broke and she was cold, still wet from the river. She looked around, feeling the spooky vibe of the place. Even without wolves, the cemetery felt haunted. She hated me with all her heart, never having faced such meanness in her spoiled life. As the eldest girl in her family, at the same time, I felt bad for what I did moments after I left. I was a kind soul. My goodness had shown when I saved old Mr. Harper years back and bore the harsh ways of the Harpers. My outburst at Lisa was just me taking out my anger for Emily and Sarah on the poor girl. As I walked, the soft wind cooled me down. I thought, she's just a young girl. It's too much to leave her out here all night. Even with no wolves or ghosts, the night air could make her sick. If something bad happened to her, I'd never forgive myself. A bit of a scare is enough. I can't let her stay out all night. I turned back to look for her, but when I got to where I left Lisa, she was gone. I felt a rush of worry. I looked everywhere but only found her fancy shoes, a bad sign. I knew Lisa was in big trouble when I heard her weak cries for help. I ran towards the sound, feeling mad again. It turned out the two bad guys from before came back, and hurting Lisa was not all they wanted. They looked at her with bad intentions. Seeing Lisa wet and shaken when I reached her, Lisa's clothes were nearly off. In a rush, I kicked the men away. Seeing that Lisa had little to cover herself, her fair skin glowed even as she tried to hide. I saw her beauty even more than Emily's. "Are you okay?" Feeling sorry, I gave Lisa my clothes to cover up. Lisa quickly put on my clothes but got mad and felt stuck when she saw I was the one who helped her. She wanted to hit me, but then she yelled out a warning instead. "Look out!" But it was too late. The big guy in the black suit was already standing over me. I, looking quite normal, couldn't stop the man's hit. With a strong kick, the big guy sent me flying away. He picked up his knife again and laughed. "Want to die?" He stood on my chest, ready to end me. The other bad guy, sent flying by me earlier, said, "Marco, the Greens have power. They might find us soon. We need to hurry. Finish this and make it clean," Marco thought. Easy for you to say. After all, they wouldn't have had any trouble with Lisa if the other guy hadn't lost control. But arguing was useless now. Marco quickly put the knife into my chest. Blood went everywhere. With my last breath, I held Marco's leg tight and yelled at Lisa, "Go! I'm not worth it. Save yourself. Don't mind me." I gave Lisa a sad smile before I was about to die. Even though I was upset in my last moment, I stayed true to myself. I thought I wouldn't make the same mistakes if I got another life. My sad smile showed many feelings: bitterness, loneliness, and hopelessness. Lisa just sat there, shocked, her face white. Through my smile, she could see how truly hurt and sad I felt, showing a side of me that seemed weak compared to how strong I appeared before. Lisa didn't try to run, knowing it was no use without me. Seeing my end, Lisa felt a deep sadness. Even after I was mean to her, she felt sad seeing me die to save her life. Blood flowed from my chest, coloring the necklace I wore. A light came from the necklace, but no one saw as it went into me from my wound. I am from an old line of the wolf family, as known as any great god. If one of mine is in danger, they get what I have. As I was close to death, my mind was filled with new knowledge. Then I felt drawn to a bright light. My pale face turned very red, and a strange power filled me. "You're next, Lisa." The man in dark clothes laughed and moved toward Lisa with a knife. Lisa sat on the ground looking very sad and lost. "Watch out!" yelled another man, but it was too late. I stood up fast, took the knife, and hit the man in dark clothes from behind. "How?" The man turned his head in shock, then fell down dead, not even able to think. "How did you come back?" I now had a power I didn't know well, but it was strong enough to deal with the two bad men. The other guy was shocked to see this, and I grabbed him before they both fell into the water. Lisa saw it all and wondered if they would die together. Her face showed she was mixed up inside. The man had been a pain, but he chose to die for her, even though they just met that day. Lisa's legs were weak, and she crawled to the water's edge, her feelings mixed, not sure if she wanted me to come back up. I had touched and seen her pure body, even did mouth-to-mouth to save her. Lisa bit her lip, waiting, but saw no sign of me coming up. She didn't know if I was alive or dead. Tears came to her eyes. She couldn't hold them back. Then she heard a car horn. The Greens guards were looking for her. In my clothes, she stayed put. When she was sure I hadn't come up, she spoke softly to the river. "My name's Lisa Green. Come see me sometime." Then Lisa left, not knowing I heard it all from under the water. Lisa, such a nice name. Back home, Lisa seemed lost. She told the bodyguards to look in the river for me, yet they found nothing. All they knew was I, Jack Thompson, was known for being treated badly by my wife's family. One guard found my ID, thought to be lost at a recycling place. It all felt strange. Emily and Sarah stood outside the civil records office. Emily checked her watch, getting mad by the minute. They planned to end their marriage that day, but it was almost midday and I was still gone. Also, I hadn't come home all night and my phone was off when she tried calling me. She had no clue where I went or how to reach me. As Emily got more upset, I finally arrived. I was breathing hard, running from far. My clothes were ripped and I looked so shy. After messing with Lisa, I found out she came from a big family. Scared of coming up from the water, I chose to hide under it instead. When Lisa thought I was gone and talked to the river, I felt the guards looking around. I swam with the flow, but soon passed out in the water after all that had happened. I woke up at about 9 in the morning. Right away, I thought of my split from Emily and hurried to make it final. But Emily ran up to me and hit me hard across the face. "Where were you last night, you good-for-nothing? I said we were splitting up this morning. It's almost noon." "You're wasting my time," Emily yelled. "I had things to do last night." I covered my face, wishing I could hit back, but I just bit down hard and took the disgrace. "What could a nobody like you be up to? Did you run off with someone else because you were mad last night?" Sarah said with a nasty grin. "Don't think too much of him, Mom. No lady would want him unless they couldn't see. Even if he tried to pay for company, he's broke." Emily laughed loud. I turned pale, then red. I couldn't look up, shamed by the two women's taunts. "Just seeing you is gross." "Let's just get this divorce done," Emily said coldly before turning and strutting to the civil records office door. Just then, I finally said something. "I don't think we can do that. I lost my ID card. When you threw me out yesterday, you tossed all my stuff in the trash. My ID was with those things, but you didn't see. Now it's been thrown away to be burned up, so it's gone for good." "What?" Emily turned with a mean look at me. "You're just making up stuff to skip getting a breakup, huh? Who are you kidding by saying you lost your ID?" "You're not acting like a man," Sarah said. "Right. If you don't want to break up, just say so. Or maybe you like being cheated on. Do you like taking care of a kid that's not yours? I'm telling the truth. My ID is gone, and it's your mess too. How is it my fault?" My hands were tight, my eyes filled with worry. I really wanted to split from Emily, but no ID meant I couldn't do anything. Just then, a flashy Porsche and a dark Audi stopped right in front of me. Out came a young man around 30 or 31 from the Porsche. He had on shades and fancy clothes. Soon after, two tough guys in suits stepped from the Audi, walking behind the young man like they owned the place. People around started to stare. The young man looked spoiled rich. Brad, You made it." The Harper family seemed to light up, their tone changing as they welcomed him. Brad took off his glasses, looking down on others as he said, "Didn't you tell me you'd ditch your no-good man today? Why is the split not done yet? Here's something for you. This loser was late today and keeps saying no to the breakup, says he lost his ID. Can you believe that?" Emily shot me a sharp look. "Who said you need an ID to split? I've got a buddy who runs this place. Come with me and it'll be done." Brad put his arm around Emily's waist, throwing a dark look at me. His eyes had a hint of warning. "I'm telling you, kid, you better just go through with the divorce like you should. If you try to play games to keep Emily, I'll make sure you're sorry forever." "Listen, dummy, even without his ID, my man can still push the divorce through." "Let's see what silly thing you try now," Emily gloated at me, pecking Brad on the cheek. They flirted and went inside. It was clear they were a bad match. I balled my fists, mad as hell. Emily not only cheated on me, but also rubbed it in my face with another guy. She was so cruel. Yet I thought about being free soon. I took a deep breath and followed them into the civil records office. "Sorry, Miss Harper. The law says there's a 1-month wait before you can divorce. Plus, without your husband's ID, we can't start the divorce now." A lady at the desk handed back the papers to Emily. "This is nuts. Why wait a month for a divorce? Get your boss. I want this done now." Brad slammed the table, mad. "Sir, I'm just doing my job." The lady tried to stay polite. "Don't talk back. Get your boss. Can't you hear?" Brad yelled louder. He made such a scene people stared or looked at him funny. It was the first time something like this happened there. Right then, the top people at the civil records office took notice, and a man who was a bit chubby hurried over. "It's you, Brad. Please calm down. Amber here didn't know who you are. She meant no harm. Please let it go." The man smiled, trying to fix things, then turned to scold the worker. "Do you know who this is, Amber? He runs Green Enterprises. You should say sorry right now." Green Enterprises? People around were shocked. This company in Maplewood was big news. Its worth was almost $500 million and it was super rich. This was a guy no one should make mad. "I'm sorry, Mr. Green, I messed up. Please let it go." Amber was so scared she quickly stood up and bowed to Brad to say sorry. Brad liked this, and he also liked how people around looked at him in awe. "Mr. Lowe, please make it fast with the divorce for my lady and make it official with our marriage too," Brad said. "I'll handle it right now," the older man smiled, and did both the divorce of me and Emily and the marriage of Emily and Brad. "You're awesome, dear. I adore that about you." Emily cuddled up to Brad like a cat and said in a sweet way. Brad's power brought pride to Emily and Sarah. "Who is she? How did she meet the top guy of Green Enterprises?" She hit the jackpot. People around couldn't help but feel jealous of Emily, with some young women looking very envious. Emily loved the attention, giggling and showing off. Meanwhile, everyone thought less of me. They looked at me weird. Some felt bad for me and others looked down on me. I felt more and more ashamed, wishing I could just hide away. After getting the divorce paper, looking bitter, I was about to leave when Brad stopped me. "Going so fast?" "I'm not done with you." Brad gave a cold smile. My face turned dark. "What are you going to do to me? What do you think? You wasted a lot of my girls' time this morning, and you kept saying no to the divorce because you lost your ID. Do you think I'd let that go?" Brad made a face. "I told you, I didn't say no to the divorce. My ID is gone. I kept my cool. Don't give me that. You think I'm easy to fool?" Brad smirked and turned to his 2 guards. "Hit him. Show him what happens when he tries to trick me." "Got it." The guards grinned and got ready to punch me. They trained a lot in fighting, and I was quickly on the ground. All I could do was cover my head and take the hits from their fists and feet. How sad for him. His wife taken and now this beating. I'd rather be dead than be as weak as him. Everyone started talking low, looking at me with pity and scorn. They thought this was just the start, since Green Enterprises had the power to ruin my life. Suddenly, a loud noise of cars stopping was heard. A big fancy Rolls-Royce with 2 black Mercedes parked outside the civil records office. A door of the Rolls-Royce opened, and out stepped a stunning tall woman around 28 or 29. She moved with grace. Behind her were 6 bodyguards. Each guard looked strong and keen-eyed. One look and you'd know they were all top-level fighters. My God, it's Lisa, the top beauty in Maplewood. It's Lisa, the big sister from the Greens. Some folks knew who this stunning lady was and just had to shout out. Lisa wasn't famous or anything, and not a lot of people had seen her, but her name was big news. She was the pride of the Greens and one of the 4 most talked about girls in Maplewood. As soon as someone in the crowd said it was Lisa, everyone got it. This grand, fine lady was the dream girl for many of Maplewood's guys. They say Lisa never had a man and has always been by herself. Why is she here at the Civil Records office today? Did she find someone? Is she going to get married? Everyone looked curious, and when the talk was maybe she was here for a marriage paper, all the guys felt a bit heartbroken, and every guy felt a wave of jealousy, wondering who was the lucky guy Lisa chose. Lisa paid no mind to all the staring. She walked into the hall and made her way straight to Brad. Brad's face warmed up, and his heart beat fast. He was the big young boss of Green Enterprises and known in the business world, so he had met Lisa before. The first time he saw Lisa, he was awestruck, and from then on, she was the dream girl in his mind. But the Greens were the top dogs in Maplewood, way more powerful in the army, politics, and business. They were way ahead of Green Enterprises. Even though Brad liked Lisa a lot, he never dared to chase after her. After all, he wasn't cut out for it. But to his shock, Lisa made the first move and walked up to him, making him so thrilled he couldn't keep it together. "Miss Green, are you here to talk to me?" Brad said, trying to please her like a dog happy to see its owner, almost ready to bow down and kiss her shoes. Lisa didn't even toss Brad a glance, her eyes going straight to me. The moment she saw me, a spark of hope lit up her cool, pretty face. She had searched high and low for me the night before, sure I was still out there. She thought, that man couldn't just die after touching me without my okay. With that goal, she used all the Greens' might that morning to dig up every bit of info on me. She soon learned about my plan to split from Emily, so she dashed to the Civil Records office to see if I might be there. And there she spotted someone who looked like me, curled up and covering my head. She couldn't see me well enough to be sure it was me. The 2 guards stopped hitting me because Lisa showed up. Feeling the shift, I looked up and saw Lisa's eyes full of feelings. "Lisa, it's you?" I got up, shocked, not thinking I'd see Lisa so fast. Lisa had mixed feelings looking at me. She felt a whirl of emotions, yet part of her wanted to scold me for touching her, but she couldn't ignore that I had saved her life. Finally, Lisa's emotions got the best of her, and she cried, tears flowing. She ran into my arms. I was speechless. Brad, Emily, and Sarah were all just as shocked by the scene. Everyone there was in shock, too. They couldn't believe that Lisa, the top beauty in Maplewood, would go to that no-good man. It was a shock, plus a lot of folks there saw me as a loser after Brad took my wife and they just looked down on me. But now the tables turned and those people felt silly. The man they saw as trash got the love of Lisa, the dream girl of all men in Maplewood. They were green with envy and wished they could take me down. If glares could kill, I would be gone 10,000 times. When I came back to reality, I quickly let go of Lisa and asked, "Lisa, why are you here? I'm here for you." Lisa's face turned a bit red, but when she saw a bit of blood on my mouth, she forgot all about catching up. She reached out to check the cut on my mouth and her face turned cold. "What's this, Jack? Who did this to you?" My eyes darted to Brad. "You did this, Brad?" Lisa was mad and gave Brad a sharp look. She had looked into my past and knew that my wife, Emily, had left me for Brad. "Brad wrecked my marriage and even tried to end my life. That was so low." Brad felt a chill and Emily stepped up before he could say anything. "Who are you? How dare you talk to my man like that? Do you know who he is?" "He's the top boy of Green Enterprises," Emily yelled with pride. She never saw Lisa before and had no clue who Lisa was. All she saw was that Lisa was just as pretty as her, maybe even more. And that made Lisa stand out. Emily was jealous and not happy. "Are you Jack's ex, Emily?" Lisa grinned and knew who Emily was right away. "Yes, I was. I left him. He's a lazy bum. And since you ran to him like he was gold, you must be just as bad." Emily looked down her nose, but before she could go on, she got a hard slap. The sharp slap filled the room after Lisa hit Emily hard. "Oh, it's on, witch. How dare you hit me?" Emily held her face. Her eyes went red with anger as she went for Lisa, looking to hurt her. Lisa was quick and hit Emily back on the other side of her face. Emily wouldn't let this slide. She tripped and yelled to Brad, "Love, this witch hit me. You need to make this right. Right, my foot." A mad Brad hit Emily so hard she hit the floor. Emily was shocked by the smack and could not believe it. "I said hit her. Why hit me? That was for you. Do you know who she is? This is Lisa, the big boss of the Greens. Want to mess with the Greens?" Brad was mad. Emily was shocked and knew she messed up bad. The Greens were new money in town, not top line, and way behind big names like the Greens. Even Brad's dad wouldn't mess with Lisa. "Please, no hard feelings, Miss Green. It's all a mix-up." Brad was quick to say sorry with a bow. "Mix-up? I don't think so," Lisa laughed, then told her guards, "These folks were mean to my pal, Jack. Can you sort them out for me till I say stop?" Got it. The guards did as told and made a ring around Brad and his two guards. Emily was out of puff after 2 hits from Lisa. Lisa thought best not to push her more. Brad and his 2 guards weren't so lucky. Lisa's 6 guards boxed them in and started to hit and kick hard. "Miss Green, I see my wrong now. Please let me go," Brad yelled over and over. He curled up tight, hands over his head, crying for mercy non-stop. "Why stop my men when you were cruel to Jack before?" Lisa said, cold, mad in her tone. The guards hit harder. Emily felt how tough Lisa was and stood by Brad, scared, not daring to stop the beating. "If you're so brave, fight me, not hide behind her," Emily yelled at me, who just gave her a cold stare. Yet I moved to Lisa's side and hinted for her to call it off. "You can make them stop, Lisa." "I'm thankful, but let's end it here." Lisa caught on to my look right away. She guessed I wanted to face them on my own later, not leaning on her now. She was right, and Emily's dig hit my pride. That low point for me was now burned in my mind, but I hoped to stand on my own to wash that away. I couldn't prove myself if I depended on Lisa to get even for me. "You lucked out this time." "For Jack, I'll let you go," Lisa turned coldly, then turned with a smile to me. "Lots I want to talk about. Come with me." I just nodded. I didn't even glance at Emily as I hopped into the car and zoomed off with Lisa. The Rolls-Royce, big and fancy, roared to life and took off. Next to it, Brad's beat-up Porsche didn't seem all that great. Shoot, how's a nobody like Jack with someone like Lisa? Was he with her last night instead of coming home? Emily was fuming. Even though Emily had dumped me, seeing me with Lisa made her feel less important. Emily's anger grew the more she thought about it. Soon Brad picked himself off the ground, looking sad with a bruised nose and puffy face. "No way. Lisa is the top lady of the Greens. She's a big deal. None of the rich kids in town ever got her eye, so how did a loser like Jack do it? Maybe they just know each other from somewhere." Brad held his face, wincing in pain. To him, Lisa was a dream, while I was nothing. He couldn't stand the thought of us being close. You got it. Lisa wouldn't like him unless she couldn't see. But then again, she wouldn't go for trash like him even then. Emily's smirk made him feel a bit better. "Who cares what they are to each other? It's all Jack's fault this happened to me. I'll make him pay for this." Brad looked bitter. He couldn't risk messing with the Greens or Lisa, so he blamed me for everything. People around shook their heads at Brad and Emily's nerve. Everyone saw how I talked Lisa into forgiving Brad. Brad didn't thank me, he just got mad at me. It was really mean. Sadly, the Greens were big deals, so others just hated him quietly and never said it out loud. After my split with Emily, I was left with nothing. I had no stuff and needed a place to live most of all. The Sovereign Hotel was a top fancy hotel in Maplewood, and Lisa thought to let me stay there for now. She also wanted to ask me about what went down the night before. When we got to the hotel, Lisa told her guards to stay put while she brought me in. "Welcome to the Sovereign Hotel," 2 helpers smiled to greet us. Seeing the hotel's fancy look, I was in awe. I'd never been in such a posh place before, making me a bit uneasy. My old clothes didn't fit in with the hotel's glam. I moved carefully, worried my shoes would dirty the hotel's fancy red floor. "Hold on, this hotel is too nice for beggars. Go away, beg somewhere else." A young woman in a boss's outfit came over. She acted all high and mighty and scolded the 2 helpers who welcomed Lisa and me. "Are you blind? Why let a beggar in? Who are you calling a beggar?" Lisa was taken aback, unsure of what to say at first. Soon she saw the woman move to me and point at me. "Out with you, you poor beggar!" the woman yelled, almost pushing me out. Feeling low already, I blushed as the woman yelled at me. I really wanted to just hide away. Lisa got what was happening, and her nice face went cold fast. She pushed the woman's finger off and said, "You're the one who can't see. Does he look like someone with no home to you? He's my friend. We want to get a room." "Get a room?" The boss looked down on Lisa from top to bottom. "You look rich, but you're with him? I guess you're no different. Now leave our hotel, both of you." Lisa was mad. Only mean folks say stuff like that. "Get your boss here now. Who do you think you are?" "You got no right to ask for our boss," the supervisor sneered. Lisa was so mad she wanted to hit the supervisor but held back for her own good. The hotel workers started to notice the loud talk. A man around 45 or 46 ran over as fast as he could, a badge that said Lobby Manager Wendell Jones on his suit. "What's the problem, Cheryl?" "What's happening?" Wendell asked. "Cousin, good you're here. These two troublemakers, looking like they have no home, are messing up our hotel's look." The supervisor pointed at Lisa and me with a look of scorn. Wendell looked where Cheryl pointed and saw Lisa. The first look made him admire her, for Lisa's beauty and how she held herself caught him. With a second look, he got really scared, his forehead starting to sweat. Lisa didn't go out much, and not many people outside the world of rich and powerful knew her face. Wendell couldn't have known Lisa, but since the Green family's work covered many areas, they'd often have important guests or big clients stay at the Sovereign Hotel. Wendell had seen Lisa once before, so he knew who she was right away. Right now, Wendell felt so scared that his legs got weak, and he almost dropped to the ground. Lisa was someone he shouldn't mess with. "Where's the guard? Someone call the guard. Is this how you run a hotel? Won't you kick those two poor folks out?" Cheryl yelled very loud, "Stop!" Wendell was so mad he hit her. After that sharp hit, Cheryl stumbled and fell. "Why did you hit me?" Cheryl touched her face and was shocked by the hit. "You fool! Do you know who she is? This is Lisa Green, the top daughter of the Greens." Wendell looked at Cheryl with anger and scolded her. Cheryl was a distant family member, which made her think she could push around some workers in the hotel because they were kind of related. He ignored her bad acts for family's sake, but Cheryl really messed up by making Lisa mad. With the Green family's power in Maplewood, both he and Cheryl would be in trouble if things weren't fixed. She's the Lisa Green? Cheryl couldn't believe it. She never saw Lisa but heard a lot about her. She knew Lisa was the top daughter of the Greens, and also the most talked about of 4 known beauties in Maplewood. Even if the Greens didn't come after her, Lisa's rich fans would tear her apart once they heard she made Lisa mad. Cheryl was so scared she couldn't stand. She kneeled right away and started to say, "Sorry, Miss Green. I'm sorry for not knowing you. I didn't mean to make you mad. Please let it go and don't be mad at someone like me." Wendell's heart fell when he saw Lisa's blank face. He snapped at her, "Hit yourself." Cheryl paused but then bit down hard and started hitting her face. She hit herself even harder as she said, "I'm sorry." So sorry. She kept hitting her face with each sorry until blood came from her lips. "Say sorry to my friend," Lisa said with no warmth. Of course. I'm sorry, sir." "My bad." Cheryl didn't care now that I had no money. She went down on her knees to say sorry right away. I was shocked and a bit too much taken aback. Before, I just split time between home and work. I didn't go out much. I hadn't heard of the top 4 beauties of Maplewood nor the Greens. I didn't know the Greens were a big deal and didn't get how big a deal they were. All I saw was Lisa telling her guards to beat up Brad at the Civil Records office, and Cheryl scared after she found out who Lisa was, dropping to her knees, begging. These 2 things made me think the Greens must be rich and strong. Sure, I had gotten close to Lisa the night before, but Lisa acted like it never happened, leaving me confused. I let my mind wander, but snapped back to now. I moved to Lisa and softly took her arm, whispering, "Don't fret about her, Lisa. I'm used to being treated this way." Lisa's heart hurt. She felt my sad and trapped vibe and the small fear in my voice. "Miss Green, it's all Cheryl's fault. I'll see she gets what she deserves and learns her lesson." "Please give her another go," Wendell begged with true feeling. His dislike for Cheryl was showing. He knew he had to stop her from messing things up more. If Cheryl kept up her bad acts, it could ruin him. "Stand up. My friend let you off this time, so I'll give you another shot." "Hope you change for the better," Lisa said with a cool tone. She could forgive when needed. After all, she didn't like to push people around with her high place and didn't want to fight with those who didn't matter. "Thank you, Miss Green." "Thank you, sir." Cheryl got up, her clothes wet with sweat. The guests were shocked, seeing that the high-class and pretty lady was Lisa. They looked at her with surprise and liked her even more. Some secretly took their phones out, wanting to take a pic of Lisa's beauty. "Let's leave, Jack." Lisa saw something was wrong and quickly led me out of the hotel. Staying in a hotel with me could lead to talks. Any wrong ideas or gossip could hurt us both. While Lisa knew she did nothing bad and wasn't scared, many of her fans came from big and rich families. Such a mix-up could start trouble for me, and Lisa didn't want that. Dragon Bay Villas was known as a very fancy place in Maplewood. It had amazing views with mountains and rivers around. Only the very rich, famous, and those known for their style and fancy life could live there. Lisa got me 2 nice sets of clothes from a mall close by. Then we went back to her villa. "I think it's not smart to book a hotel for you. You can stay at my place for a few days, and tomorrow I'll help you look for a place to rent. When everything's set, you can move to your new home," Lisa said, her face a bit red. She had never let a guy into her home before, much less stay the night. Her honor meant a lot to her, but this time she made an exception for me because I saved her life. She trusted me because I acted with honor by saving her. It made her think I was a good guy. "Thanks, but you don't need to get me a house." I shook my hands. I knew my words might sound like I wanted to stay at Lisa's house for free. "I didn't mean that. I just mean I'd be glad if you could help me find a place. Once I get some cash, I'll pay you back for the rent," I said, smiling in an awkward way. Lisa smiled back and didn't think badly of my words. She gave me my ID card and said, "Here's your ID. My guys found it in the trash, which made me wonder how it ended up there. You're a hero." My face brightened as I took the ID card. Even though I had no cash right now, having my ID meant I could get a job soon to cover my basic needs. I felt a bit ashamed as I thought about how my ID got in the trash. I didn't tell Lisa the sad story of my married life to keep her from worrying. "By the way, Jack, I saw that man stab you with a knife last night. Are you okay? Do you want me to take you to the doctor?" Lisa asked, looking worried. She saw a man stab me in the heart, but oddly I was up and fine, as if nothing had happened. Lisa started to doubt her own eyes. "I'm good. My cut is good. I touched my chest by chance and hit the hurt spot. I winced in pain and couldn't hold back a groan." "What's up? Does it hurt?" "We're off to the hospital now." Lisa jumped up, looking worried. "It's not that bad. The pain comes fast but leaves just as quick. No need for a hospital." The pain got less as I rubbed it a bit. I thought about checking the cut but felt shy to undress in front of Lisa. "Show me. Take your shirt off." Lisa was still full of worry, but I was super shy, feeling about undressing in front of her. "Just do it," Lisa pushed. She didn't care that I was a guy, a young, strong guy at that. I told myself it was fine if she didn't mind. Biting my teeth, I took off my shirt to show my lean and fit body. Lisa leaned in and saw a scar on my chest. It was ugly, like a 5 cm bug, and it made her shiver. "How can you say it doesn't hurt with a scar like that?" She reached out and touched the scar on my chest. Her eyes watered and she felt like crying. Seeing the mark of my brave act from the night before made her feel deep inside. Then something strange happened. As Lisa touched me, the scar started to come off bit by bit, showing new, soft pink skin below. Lisa was shocked. Scars usually take a month or 2 to go away, but it happened in less than a day this time. There was no sign of the scar on the new skin. It was hard to believe. Lost, Lisa kept rubbing the scar softly until it all came off. No mark of the old scar was left on the new skin, like I was never hurt. Lisa was at a loss for words. I, though, turned red. Lisa's hands were gentle and soft, moving on my chest in a way that made my heart race. A young man like me couldn't handle such touches. I got tense and my heart beat fast. I felt like I could hardly breathe. "What the heck are you two doing?" yelled a voice. Then a big man in his 60s walked into the room. A pretty woman around 45 or 46 hung close to him. She looked nice but wore a lot of makeup. She had on a red, tight dress that showed a lot. She looked great and moved in a way that caught the eye. "Dad, why are you here?" Lisa was shocked and then saw she had her hand on my bare chest. It looked bad. Lisa's face turned red fast and she pulled her hand back quick. I was just as embarrassed and rushed to get dressed. Both Lisa and I turned red as if we were caught in the act. "If I hadn't come, I wouldn't have seen you keeping some rude guy at home," the man scolded hard. "Who are you to call me simple? Why be so mean? Jack is my pal." "There's nothing more to it." Lisa made it clear she was upset. "Do you really think we buy that there's nothing going on when you touched him that way? Who are you trying to trick? Can't you act with some shame in daylight, Lisa? You might as well just do it in the yard," the pretty woman said with a mean smirk. "It's none of your beeswax. I can do whatever I like and you've got no say in what I do." Lisa shot her a dirty look, and the bad blood between them was heating up fast. "Gilbert, look at her. She's being all mouthy and rude." The pretty woman tugged at the arm of the middle-aged man, making a big show of being upset. "What's wrong with you, Lisa? Whether you want to hear it or not, Daisy is still your mom. How can you speak to her like that?" Gilbert told her off. "She's not my mom. My real mom passed away 20 years ago. She's just a sneaky girl who ended up as your wife." "What makes her my mom?" Lisa snapped. "Did you hear what she called me, Gilbert? She called me a sneaky girl," Daisy said, starting to cry. "You're being rude and way out of line." Gilbert was livid, and he lifted his hand like he was going to hit Lisa. "Go on, then. No one in the family has cared about me since Mom was gone. Only Grandpa really cares. Why don't you just end it?" Lisa stood her ground, not backing down. "How dare you?" Gilbert shook with rage. He had put all his time into Daisy and her son over the years, but he stopped himself, thinking he hadn't been there enough for his daughter. "It's time you thought about getting married, Lisa. And I'm fine if you get a boyfriend, but with our family name, you should at least pick someone who matches us." Gilbert calmed down some, glared at me, and said with scorn, "Just look at this guy. His clothes were as worn as a poor man's. Is he really the guy you want to date?" "I've said it before. Jack is just a friend, not my boyfriend, and he's no poor man." Lisa was very mad. "You two are almost living as one. What is he if not your boyfriend? Do you think me and your dad are dumb?" Daisy looked down on her. "You've seemed so pure all this time. There's talk you're still a virgin, so it shocks me that you're in such a mess now. How low have you gone to date someone who looks so sad?" That comment made Lisa really mad, and she started saying random things. "You know what? Fine. Jack is my boyfriend and I love him. Are you happy now?" Lisa was boiling mad after Daisy's harsh words, so she hugged me tight to show off. I was shocked. I looked at Lisa, not knowing what to do. "Oh, so you admit it now," Daisy said with a smirk. Gilbert turned white, then red with rage. He took out a check, wrote a big number, and threw it at me. "I don't care who you are or where you're from, kid, but you can't be with Lisa. Here is $7,000. Take it and leave my girl alone. And if you bother her again, I swear you'll vanish without a trace." I watched as the check fell. $7,000 was a huge deal for someone with no cash, but I knew I couldn't take it because it wasn't right. It's always about money with you. "Do you think being rich makes you better? I told you I like Jack. I won't marry anyone but him." "You won't keep us apart, not for all the money," Lisa shot back. "She grew up without her dad's love ever since her mom died. All he did was give her money instead of being there for her. She got so tired of it." "Fine. I'll go find Grandpa then." Gilbert left in a huff. As years passed, things got worse between them. Now she was all grown up with her own job and company. He couldn't tell her what to do anymore. The only person who might make her change her mind was her grandpa. Lisa watched Gilbert and Daisy go, then slumped back on the couch, upset. I wanted to say something nice, but words weren't my strong suit, so I stayed quiet. After a while, Lisa cooled off. "I'm sorry, Jack. I was just trying to make my dad and Daisy mad. I didn't mean to drag you into this. Hope you're okay with it," she said, feeling bad. "I get it. It's fine," I replied strongly. Lisa was the oldest of the Greens, not like me, a divorced man seen as a failure with no family or future. I knew there was a huge gap between us. I never thought Lisa could actually like me, and I didn't dare to hope for something that wasn't going to happen. "I'll go take a shower," I said, then quickly left the room. After my shower, I put on the fancy clothes Lisa got for me. I looked much better, like a whole new person. Lisa couldn't help but be impressed when she saw me again. Clothes do make the man. I looked okay on my own, but in my suit, I seemed more polished, like a boss at work or a big-shot CEO. In a way, I was the kind of guy you'd call handsome. You might not notice me right away, but the more you looked, the more my unique manly charm showed. At that time, the housekeeper Jenny was making lunch in the kitchen after a quick trip to the store. Lisa had moved out and lived by herself since finishing college. She didn't want to be alone in the big house, so she hired Jenny to help out. After lunch, Lisa said, "Jack, my granddad heard you saved me last night and he wants to meet you. Can you go now?" "Sure," I agreed, and we both went. The Greens' big house was old and sat in a large garden. Inside, we met Elder Green, the family head, in the main room. Elder Green, in his 80s, looked kind but also had a cool, distant air of someone who's been in charge for years. His health wasn't so good lately, probably because of his age. It was getting worse, so he stepped back and let his son, Gilbert, take over the business. Still, he was the big man of the family, holding everyone together. Besides Elder Green, Gilbert and Daisy were there too. Gilbert kept giving me mean looks because of what happened at the villa. Elder Green was nice and told his helpers to give me tea and water, showing he liked me. "Let me tell you about Jack, Grandpa. He saved me last night," Lisa told the whole story. "Big thanks for saving my granddaughter, Jack. We won't forget your kind act. We think even small good deeds should be paid back. So what do you want? Our family will try our best to make it happen," Elder Green said with a warm smile. "Thanks, but I don't want anything," I said, shaking my head. I had helped Lisa because I felt it was right, not for a reward. And Lisa had already made things right for me at the Civil Records Office. I felt we were square. Really, think hard. This chance won't come again. Elder Green's eyes got a bit sharp as he put down his tea. He couldn't tell if I really wanted nothing or if I was trying to get close to their family. "I'm sure. I really don't need anything," I said firmly. Just then, I saw something odd on Elder Green's face. It might be my mind playing tricks, but I saw a light gray shine between Elder Green's brows and dark bluish spots at the edges of his mouth. Suddenly, a strange memory hit me. The gray shine meant death was near, while the bluish spots meant a bad sickness. Shocked by this memory, I came back to the moment. It looked like some old memory from my ancestor from the night before, but I hadn't had time to fully dive into it. The memory stuck deep in my brain and popped up as a warning when it needed to. "Why are you out of it, Jack?" Lisa caught on quick that something was off and poked my arm. "Elder Green, there's a gray shine between your brows and purple spots at the edge of your lips. It means you might be sick. I just said it." "What?" My words hit like a shock, leaving Lisa and the rest stunned. Elder Green spat out his tea in surprise. "Do you even care, kid? My dad let you here, and you start by saying he's going to die? You picking a fight?" Gilbert yelled, hitting the table hard before standing. Elder Green looked stern. He thought I was up to something for my own gain, and now it seemed true. They couldn't tell what I was up to right then. Any good feeling Elder Green had for me was gone. "What's up with you, Jack?" "My grandpa's fine. What are you saying?" Lisa was not happy looking at me. "Two might be wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it." My face got red and I said sorry right away, mad at myself for not thinking. "It's okay. Maybe it's just a mix-up." Elder Green's face got a bit better, but he still didn't think well of me anymore. If I hadn't saved Lisa's life, the old man would have had me thrown out right then. Then fast steps came through the hall and a housekeeper came in quick. "The top holy doctor, Graham Elliott, is here. Bring him in," Elder Green said fast. In a minute, a gray-haired guy in his 70s or so came in with his helper. "Please sit down," Elder Green said with a warm smile, and everyone in the room was kind and nice to him. Graham Elliott was a top doctor in Maplewood, known for his great skills in normal and special medicine. His work with pressure points made him famous as the Holy Doctor and Pressure Point King. Next to the big-name Greens, Graham might seem smaller in personal history or family business, yet when it came to how much people respected and needed him, He stood as tall as Elder Green. After all, any sick person in Maplewood would say he's the best doctor around. Lots of rich and important folks had asked for his help. "I'm sorry for dropping by like this, Elder Green. I came to check on your health again." Graham smiled as he greeted him. Half a month ago, Elder Green got sick with chest pain and trouble breathing. Graham was the one who fixed Elder Green's problem then. They had planned to check again in half a month to make sure everything was still okay. "Thanks for coming, Graham." "Of course, Elder Green, I had to." After some polite chat, Graham asked Elder Green to sit. He began by feeling Elder Green's pulse and looking at his face. From time to time, Graham's look turned serious. Gilbert felt worried and asked, "What's wrong with my dad's face, Graham? Elder Green's face doesn't look good. He has a grayish shadow on his forehead and his lips look a bit green and purple." "This doesn't seem like a good sign." Graham looked worried. Gray shadow on his forehead, green and purple lips? Everyone, including Gilbert, was shocked to hear this. They all looked at me right away. They all remembered I had said something just like that before. "But it's all good. Elder Green's heartbeat is fine, so he should be okay," Graham said to make them feel better. "That's great." Gilbert let out a big breath of relief with everyone else. Even though I had a different idea from Graham before, they would mostly trust Graham more because he knew a lot about health stuff. What if I use some gear to check Elder Green one more time, just to be sure he's okay? Graham thought for a bit. Gilbert said, "Yes, we got some on the top floor. It's all the new stuff." Graham, Gilbert, and the rest went upstairs. Lisa went too because she was worried about her grandpa. I was left standing there, feeling odd. It didn't seem right to follow or to leave. Soon, Gilbert and the others came back down. When I looked at him before, all seemed fine. Maybe I was just worried for no reason. "You look a bit pale, but that might be because you're just tired or low on blood. I'll give you something to take for a few days and we'll see how it goes." After giving Elder Green what he needed, Graham got ready to go. Elder Green tried to speak, but then pain hit his heart and he started to cough hard. In a blink, he couldn't see and fell down. "Dad, are you okay?" Gilbert was so scared when he saw this and picked Elder Green up. He saw then that Elder Green had fainted. "Graham, what happened? Why did my grandpa just faint?" Lisa was really scared. "It can't be." "Don't worry, I'll check his heartbeat." Graham was just as shocked and quickly bent down to look at Elder Green's pulse. Elder Green had a strong and good pulse, but it soon turned weak and offbeat. His heart rate also went down a lot, putting his life in danger. "This looks very bad. I need to use pressure point care." Graham, who was a pro in using other ways of healing, kept his cool in this tough time. He warmed his hands and started to press on the old man's body. He was very skilled and first went for the inner channel point, then aimed for the divine entrance point. "Hold on, you can't do it like that. You'll end up hurting the old man more." Just as Graham was about to press there, I jumped in to stop him. "And who are you?" Graham looked annoyed at me for questioning him, as if I was someone not worth his time. "I think you should start with the middle chest point, then go for the soul palace point." I had a picture of where to press on the body in my mind and said it out loud without thinking. "Middle chest point and soul palace point? Are you out of your mind?" These 2 points were known to be very risky. No one could save a person if you pressed those spots. Graham wondered if I wanted to help or harm the old man. "That's a deadly spot," Graham frowned, thinking this young guy must have only read some simple health books and wanted to show off. He probably didn't know it was dangerous. "Kid, what are you talking about? The middle chest point and the soul palace point can both be deadly. How can you just use them like that? Do you even know your body parts?" Graham's helper scolded me. "I guess you just came here with some simple healing tricks to show off. People like you make folks look down on healers even more." My good heart was hit hard. I tried to speak, but Lisa cut me off. "Jack, my grandpa is very sick. Graham is trying to save him, so please, no trouble," Lisa said, upset. Even if I saved Lisa once, it didn't mean I could do as I liked with the Greens. Plus, her grandpa was in deep trouble right now. She couldn't let me mess things up. "Kid, stir up more trouble and I'll throw you out right now." Gilbert stared at me, mad. I wanted to talk, but kept quiet in the end. Graham stopped paying attention to me and got back to helping Elder Green. Suddenly, Elder Green started to shake hard in his sleep. His face turned red like blood was about to come out. It looked very scary. His breath got weak and messed up. Even his heartbeat was weird, like it was going to stop. Seeing this, even Lisa and Gilbert, who knew little about health, could tell things were really bad. His blood is going the wrong way. How can this be? Graham looked shocked. He didn't dare to keep treating. He knew if he didn't stop, the wrong way blood could hit Elder Green's weak heart, killing him right then. "Graham, what's going on?" Gilbert asked, scared. "I'm so sorry. I've tried all I could. I've been a doctor for over 40 years, but I've never seen a sickness like Elder Green's." "I'm sorry, I can't do more," Graham sighed. "What?" Gilbert was super mad. He almost let loose on Graham right there, but he thought of how all see Graham as a top doc in the land. Many looked up to him, so he bit his tongue. "Graham, you must find a way. You have to save my grandpa," Lisa begged. "I'm sorry, I can't help." "You should start to sort his things," Graham sadly shook his head. "How did this go so bad? My grandpa was okay just before." Lisa's face went white. She tripped and fell, tears in her eyes. Her mom died when she was little, and her dad always paid more mind to Daisy and Daisy's kid. Since she was small, her grandpa was the one by her side, the one she felt close to. Hearing this awful news, it was clear how sad and lost she felt. I moved to help Lisa up, wanting to say something, but then stopped. Before, when I tried to talk, it didn't end well. I was too scared to say much after that, but seeing Lisa so hurt, I just couldn't watch and stay quiet. After a short pause, I said in a low voice, "Maybe I can have a go. You want to try?" Everyone was shocked as they all turned to look at me, thinking they heard wrong. Yes, Elder Green's in a lot of danger now, but there's still a slim chance. I think I might save him. I got brave and spoke up. Right then all went quiet. You could feel the heavy air. What a laugh. Even Graham, the miracle doc, couldn't fix Elder Green. "Who do you think you are? What can you do? Do you think you're better than Graham?" Graham's sidekick scoffed. "You're just making stuff up." Graham looked me over and then asked, "Are you a doc as well?" "I'm not a doc." I shook my head. "You're not even a doc. How can you say such crazy things? Even if you were a doc, you wouldn't be good enough to help anyone being so young. You're just trying to be noticed." What a joke. Gilbert was mad as he stared hard at me. I was laughed at again, but it might not be all made up. When I saw Granddad, I said that Granddad could die soon. I also said that Graham did it wrong when he tried to help Granddad just now. We didn't believe him then, but he was right. Lisa thought back to what happened before, and her mind started to clear. She began to feel a bit hopeful. Now he says he can save Granddad. Maybe he can. That Gilbert stopped talking, but he quickly laughed it off. He just got lucky a couple of times. That doesn't prove a thing. He's not a doc after all. I won't let him mess with your Granddad. Granddad is sick like this. Do you want to watch him get worse? Graham said he can't help Granddad anyway. Why not let Jack give it a try? He might just make a miracle happen. Lisa fought back strongly. She was very sure. Gilbert looked unsure. He knew his daughter was trying anything because she was scared, but he also didn't have a better plan. "Mr. Green, if this kid thinks he has a way, let's see him try." "I want to see if he's any good," Gilbert said simply. He had been in medicine for many years and was not a proud man. It was just that I was too young and not even a doc. Even the best doc couldn't fix Elder Green's weird sickness. "Kid, I'll trust you this time. But if you can't heal him or pull any tricks, you'll regret it," Gilbert warned, letting me go ahead. "Jack, please save my grandpa." "You're our only hope," Lisa begged with sad eyes. "I'll try my best," I said, trying to seem calm, but I was really not sure. Then I stood in front of Graham. "Graham, can I have some gloves?" Graham nodded reluctantly. The helper gave me some gloves. I put them on and took a deep breath. In my mind, I saw where to press on the body. I pressed on spots in front of Elder Green's chest, the heart spot, soul spot, and power spot. These spots can be deadly if pressed wrong. "This looks bad for Elder Green," the helper laughed. Graham was disappointed too, but suddenly his face changed. "Wait, is this the 6 points of fate legend? The 6 points of fate could change fate. If the person was still breathing, they could be saved." Graham had read about this old trick in an ancient book. The 6 points of fate aimed for the dangerous spots to save lives, but this skill was lost long ago. No one had seen it. Amazed, Graham watched my method. It was believed that the 6 points of fate needed true inner power. It was a super cool old healing way. But I looked weak. My moves were clumsy. I didn't seem to have any real power. At that time, Graham wasn't sure. He couldn't tell if I was using the special 6 points of fate. After trying to help, I was very pale and sweaty. I sat on the ground, close to passing out. I wasn't a real doctor yet. I couldn't use real power in my healing. I just tried my best using some strange energy. Cough. Then Elder Green woke up. He coughed out blood, a lot. His clothes and the floor turned red. Then Elder Green closed his eyes and stopped moving. He even stopped breathing. It looked like he was gone. Grandfather, Dad, Lisa, and Gilbert yelled. They were very sad and ran to Elder Green. I thought this guy was just showing off. I didn't think he would make things worse. He made Elder Green die. Some people just make the world bad. The helper shook his head. He saw this coming because of my silly act. Graham felt sorry too. He thought I was doing the 6 points of fate, but maybe he was wrong. Jack, you did this. You made my dad die. Gilbert was mad. He grabbed me, pulling me up. He was so angry he wanted to hurt me. Even though Elder Green was very sick, there was a tiny hope as long as he was still alive. But because of my careless actions, all hope was gone. Gilbert was rightly mad. Guys, grab this guy. He killed Elder Green. Take him to the cops now, he yelled. And some security guys ran in. Then they caught me like I was a bad guy. I looked pale, not sure what to do. Grandpa, Lisa started to cry. She felt so sorry and let down. She had looked into my past. I was with the Harpers for years and was seen as no good the whole time. I had no skills, so how could I know about healing? She should not have trusted me. If not, her grandpa would still be alive. It was too late to think about what could have been. Just then, Elder Green coughed loud and started to wake up. Graham and his helper were shocked. Lisa and Gilbert were too. I was amazed as well. They never thought Elder Green would come back to life after he died. Grandpa, you're okay. That's great. Lisa was the first to get it. She quickly helped Elder Green up as she cried with joy. Dad, how do you feel? Gilbert rushed over, full of emotion. What went on? Elder Green frowned as he saw the mess. Then he saw the mark on his chest and seemed to get it. He looked at Graham and said, Thanks, Graham. You are a top healer. Thanks for saving me. Graham felt super awkward. He didn't know what to say then. Grandpa, it wasn't Graham who saved you. It was Jack, as Lisa said that she remembered I was taken by their security. She ran over and moved some of the guards. What are you doing? Let Jack go now. I finally got free and took a deep breath. Sorry, Jack. We got it wrong just now, Lisa said fast, her face all red and feeling so ashamed. It's okay. What matters is Elder Green is up, I replied. But Lisa still felt really bad. I saved her granddad, but her family paid me back with meanness. They almost hurt me, yet I didn't make a fuss. I didn't seem mad at all. My kind heart touched her deeply. Thanks for watching the story of Jack's incredible journey from betrayal to unexpected redemption. What would you do if you were in Jack's shoes, faced with such a shocking twist? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable stories. See you next time.